Hey guys, here with a new hero on Korean Lost Saga. This is hero 147, Matador. And you are not hearing things that applause is a part of the taunt. So this hero is a legendary character. It will run you a little bit extra price-wise, but let's see if he's worth the additional funds being a legendary. So 3-hit basics. 1, 2, 3. Third hit will stun feint and they will fall to the ground nicely. Plenty of time to do stuff off that. It will also lift off your feints and stuns and everything and do a bounce down. Keep in mind they will recover a little bit faster than other juggles and stuff, so they don't get a hard knockdown status. The basics themselves, let me go ahead and show this here. The cape itself there, the first 2 hits are not deflectable, but the third attack is. So if you're trying to keep up the pressure versus a Viking shielder or deflecting character, keep in mind that you can be deflected on the third attack, but not the first 2. So not too bad there. So moving on to your passive. Your hold D utilizes your 4-meter passive down there. When you trigger your hold D, you will summon little shadow bulls in front of you. If the shadow bulls hit someone, it will pull them forward in fear kind of status, and it can go behind you. You'll enter the stabbing motion as well. It's a simple, straightforward stab. If you connect with the stab, try to connect with it, it will stun feint someone briefly, but they will not fall to the ground. So yeah, the ideal way to utilize this passive, since it's blockable actually, I do believe it's blockable since I use it on ice. Oh, I didn't mean to use this guy here. I was trying to swap into my Scotty here. So yeah, if you utilize your passive, you can see here it's not going through ice, so I'm assuming that means it's not a guard breaker. So the best way to utilize it is to get someone behind you, and then you can stab them in the back for that stun feint before they can block. Then you can turn and dash feint them, and then you can loop the process all over again because it does lift off feint status. So, you know, you can do some pretty nasty damage with that if you can keep it going. The ideal way would be to stab them, turn, dash feint, dash attack, do that, try again, and you can try to keep it going like that if they don't block it. So a lot of potential for neat little combo setups on Matador utilizing his passive and his dash attacks. Speaking of the dash attacks, let's just cover them really quickly, even though I gave them a little preview there. So the first hit's a little flincher. That's not deflectable as well since it utilizes the cape. Second hit's a stab that does a quick feint. So pretty simple and straightforward. And your dashers do bounce a little bit differently than your basic attacks. So if you have someone in a dash attack or a feint status, it's a lot easier to do that and then do your basics if you choose. Otherwise, you can go straight into your hold D off the dasher, whereas it's really hard to get it off your 3-hit basics. So utilizing your dash attack off feints and all that is the best way in my opinion, because it gives you time to do some nice juggles and everything. So a lot better to capitalize with the dash attack into the basics or into your hold D if it's available. So good stuff, good stuff. You can also utilize your hold D while running, but it's basically the same thing as the standing hold D. So moving on to the air attack. So the air attack, the light D air attack, is just a one-hitter, and this is probably one of the weaker light air attacks I've seen in recent memory. It barely stun feints them at all, I mean flinches them at all, but it does knock them back a little bit, and it's not deflectable against this. It utilizes the cape, but what you really want to be using out of the air is your hold D. It'll still work the same if it connects like that, but you also get the follow-up now, which is air dash feint, air dash stun. So that can be useful. You can actually utilize your hold D after your first light attack as well. So that can kind of, you know, mix people up a little bit more than normal. So that can be pretty nice. And you do get a little bit more floaty status if you do something like that as well. So that can be kind of nice for mix-ups and everything. So just gotta be a little bit quick, and then you can do that again. So good air attack with the hold D. Just utilizes your passive a whole lot. So passive management on Matador is going to be very important. So check out the defensiveness right down here really quickly. We're just going to check out the counter attack here. 2, 3. So it's a 3-hit counter attack. The first hit's a little cape whoosh back, which you see here. It does a little mini stun with the cape there. Puts kind of like a cape status on them for some reason. And then you have that one-hit follow-up there, which removes the cape. And then if you are quick enough, you'll do that third hit, which stabs and feints them. So neat little counter attack there. It's kind of odd looking. I'm not sure if there's bonuses behind the cape there or not. Onto the skills here with your Bull Rush here, Stampede on your weapon skill. If you mash D, you'll continuously throw out a stampede of bulls, and it will fear them eventually. Or you can stop a little bit early and not fear them and just have them fall to the ground. This will hit grounded as well. So if you want to hit grounded with this and potentially edge someone really easily, you can do just that. It does hit in a wide AoE, and it does knock back pretty decently as well. So you can edge people with that weapon skill pretty nicely. And it does pretty fair damage as well. Reminds me a little bit of Sunset Riders from the old arcade, Genesis, Super Nintendo days. Moving on. Armor skill, you go into this little summoning stance, and you'll have 3 bulls you can summon. 2, 3. So it will knock up on standing, and it will flatten on grounded foes. So you can use it either way. Just ground them at the end. You know, give you time to do other things with other characters who ground hit and everything. So not too bad there, not too bad. Helmet, you pull people in, ole them, ole ole ole. And this is a really good edging tool, but it does do reduced fall damage, kind of like Succubus's whip. So it did get nerfed a while back to be like that. So it's still okay. It's good for finishing off people, especially though, or buying your teammates time to double team people. Trinket skill. You summon a herd of bulls. They rush forward and stun someone. This gives you ample time to go into a stun feint or whatever you like. It does hit grounded as well, so very useful tool for finishing off prisoners and everything. So it's a very good trinket skill there. Not too bad at all there. Not too bad at all. So that's about it for Matador, guys. You know, it's not the most intricate compared to other characters, but it does have some nice nuances, like with the whole D passive here. So you really want to get them behind you when you utilize this stab. That'll make it a lot tougher for them to block you off of that. And you can turn feint, dash attack, try to repeat the process as best you can. You might want to get a little bit closer here and there to get them behind you again in order to get the stab, but a lot of great stuff. The air hold D is actually very good as well. You know, it just boils down to having your passive available. Even though your basic attack pressure is decent, the range isn't the best. The dash attack is very good though, even though it doesn't have the most range either. Overall, this character kind of suffers from the lack of range, despite the passive reaching so far. And its regular jump attack is pretty darn bad as well, but it does have very, very good base skills as well, though. Weapon skill can be a very good game changer, I would say. So you can see it edged him pretty easily there. So yeah, not a bad character, guys. Not a bad character at all. I think it's not as imbalanced as some of the characters they release in recent memory. But it does have some great things going on for it. So yeah, nice character here, guys. Nice character. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you guys for watching and hope to see you next time. Round of applause for the Matador. Had to do the taunt one more time.